Hi, Capricorn. So as we usher in the July energies, there's sort of a need to allow yourself to wash your hands of certain people, certain situations, jobs, family members, old friends, old habits, the way that you've been doing things. The energy that we're coming into is very, very strong, and it's not really going to let you go down a road. Like you can choose the path of least resistance, I guess. You can choose the path of least resistance, but it's going to be really uncomfortable. So allowing yourself to really stand firm in your truth and accept that there are just some things that are going to have to go. Things that aren't going to serve you on your journey. Saturn is moving back into Capricorn the day after Jupiter and Pluto conjunct. So Jupiter and Pluto conjunct in your sign on June 30th. July 1st, Saturn is back into Capricorn, where it starts to meet back up with Jupiter and Pluto. And then we have a full moon eclipse in Capricorn on the 4th of July. And your energy is ushering in a new era, basically, because the Capricorn energy is the hardest working, if you will, the energy that says this is the way things have to go, and that's all we can really do about it. There's not really a path of things being easy right now. And I wish that I could sit here and tell you guys, oh yeah, it's going to be a breeze. Mars moves into Aries today, this evening. I'm doing this reading on June 27th for you. And that's going to be squaring all of this. Mars is going to be in Aries for damn near 6 months until January 2021. So, I feel like the biggest thing, allowing yourself, giving yourself a whole bunch of grace, accepting the path that your soul chose as you were born into this lifetime, and creating a balance for yourself. 10 of Wands and Temperance. See, and here's the thing, Capricorn, and I think that you guys will understand this probably more than any other sign that I would say this to, because you're not a stranger to hard work, and you're not a stranger to having to take care of yourself, and you're not a stranger to having to take care of other people. But there's a need to understand that this energy is bringing you into a time of your life that would actually be better for you, would actually lift that burden a little bit more. And I think that that's what you're really understanding. I think that that's more of an understanding for you guys than probably anybody. Like I said, any other sign I would say that to, they would be like, that's really stupid. I didn't ask for this. I want something else. And you guys are just like, you know what? I'm tired of doing things the way that I've been doing them for so long, because it wasn't working, and I'm tired of hitting my head up against a brick wall. I don't want to be that person. I want to be the goat. I want to get to the top of the mountain. I want to allow myself to get to the top of the mountain. And this energy is ushering you through that. Is it heavy? Yeah. Is it gross? Yeah. Do you have to look at the darkest and the deepest parts of you? Yeah. But again, you're no stranger to that hard work, because that shadowy aspect that you have to look at right now is really, really hard work. It just sucks because it's about you. It's not about the physical hard work. But this Nine of Pentacles is the promise that you will be abundant and independent, all on your own. You were sort of built for that, you know? So, allowing yourself to find the peace within the unknown. Taking risks within the unknown. There could be an air energy around you, or you could just still be taking that energy from June and coming into July and just being as cutthroat as you were in, you know, in July, like as you were in June. And so the Queen of Swords, the Fool, and the Moon. That full moon is going to eclipse so many things out of your life that you might even have whiplash. There is absolutely no way that you'll be able to take some things with you on this second part, on this next part, I shouldn't say second part, but this next part of your journey. And the fact that you guys are the supportive energy for the entire collective shift right now, that is a burden within itself. You guys are holding, it's almost like you're accountable for everybody else's actions. And please don't take that in the wrong way, because you're not actually accountable for, that was sort of like a tongue-in-cheek remark, by the way. But sort of accepting your role in collective humanity right now is kind of a big thing. And asking yourself, what is it that I can do to not just better my own life, but better other people's existence without allowing the negative energy to penetrate my heart, you know, my exterior. And still climbing to the top of the mountain. Yes, that's a huge burden. That 10 of Wands is so overbearing. Again, no other, I mean, you guys can do this. You guys can handle this better than most. And the reason why I'm saying that is because some of you don't believe that you can. Some of you are so ready to just be like, whatever, I don't care. I want to take the easy way out. Except there is no easy way out. It's time to take a risk. The Fool, Aries energy. Mars is going to be in Aries, right? Square Capricorn energy. However many planets you have in Capricorn, that is where you're going to see the effects of this Mars and Aries energy when it's squaring it. And the Mercury retrograde that is squaring, that is opposite you at the same time. You guys don't have it easy for July. You guys don't have it easy at all for July. Part of the unknown, and I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that it's going to be like all rainbows and butterflies. No, that's not my bag. I won't do that. The Moon. I can tell you that as you allow yourself to get through this really overbearing, really tough time, you're going to find parts of yourself within. You're going to dig so incredibly deep that there will be no second guessing who you actually are and what your purpose is and where you belong in all of this. After all of this is over, after this energy is passed, after we've moved on from things, which probably won't be for a little bit, but again, I mean, it takes a long time for a diamond to become a diamond. And it takes a lot of heat for that to happen as well. And you guys are sort of right in the middle of that process. You're not even in the beginning. You're not even a diamond in the rough at this point. You're like right in the middle of the process. And you have the hardest pressure right now. So giving yourself a lot of grace, giving yourself a lot of patience, a lot of patience. Yes, you could be dealing with a Sagittarius energy. You could be dealing with an Aries energy. You could be dealing with a Scorpio or Pisces energy as well. That could also be putting extra pressure onto you right now. But allowing yourself to say, I'm no longer putting up with the things that are going to hold me down or hold me back. That's going to be your saving grace this month. That's going to be, that'll be the freedom. In the United States, we have the 4th of July, right? It's Independence Day, and that's the day of your full moon eclipse. And, ooh, walking away from the past. What did I say? So with that full moon eclipse, there is a sense of freedom. There's a sense of eclipsing things, people, situation out of your life. The 6 of Cups on the 10 of Wands. Working really, really hard for yourself and knowing what because for me, yes, the 6 of Cups represents the soulmate, right? It represents a connection that defies space and time. It's one of those kind of connections where you know that you have spent many lifetimes with a person, right? But allowing yourself to hold on to past burdens also, because the 6 of Cups can represent your childhood. It can represent the relationships that you've had in the past. And I think that that's where all of this, with these eclipses and how the Cancer, even the Cancer solar eclipse that we had on the 21st of June, how it showed you the relationships that you want to have in your life versus the ones you feel like you have to cultivate, right? There are certain things that we tell ourselves sometimes where we want one thing so incredibly bad that that's our focus and that's what we'll do. And then the universe is like, yes, but I have something better for you. And sometimes we don't always see that because we're so focused on the thing that we think that we want, the thing that we think we have to have, right? Or the way that it has to look or the way things have to go. And then the universe brings you something better and you don't see it as better, or you don't see it as less taxing on you because it's not the way that you wanted it to. And that this energy is trying to help you to open up your eyes a little bit. 2 of Swords on Temperance. Well, of course you can't see the peacefulness of all of this right now. And sometimes, and maybe you can. Maybe if you allow yourself to take the swords, put the swords down and take the blindfold off. There's a feeling and a necessity of wanting to, there's a want that you guys have right now. You want to feel supported. You want to feel like there are people that are on your side. There are people on your team. Capricorns are very earth sign culture in the way that they're adults their entire life and they're always doing things on their own. And that can get exhausting. I understand that. Being a fellow earth sign, I completely understand the notion that we think that if we are asking for help or we are trying to find the peace in a situation, that would be a negative, that would not be something that we are supposed to be doing. It feels unnatural to want to ask for help. But I feel like you're being divinely guided to certain situations and certain aspects in your life. And I don't feel like you have to do it alone. I know that sometimes you see it like that. But your tribe is being formed around you. And I think that part of you needs to be vulnerable and open enough to accept that tribe that's being formed around you right now. Instead of feeling like you have to be the leader energy. You know, one of the greatest signs of being a leader is not being, you know, like not being the leader. Like you can never, if you're in a group of people and you don't actually know who the leader is, a lot of time, but they're very put together and they're well organized and the projects go smoothly, but you can't identify one specific leader. That's a really great group and tribe to be a part of. If you're a part of a tribe and you can't pinpoint, that means that you're all leaders and you're all followers and you're all leading and following each other, and then some, and then bringing more in, right? So I feel like part of the acceptance and allowance of being honest with yourself, do you put so much pressure on what you have to do all on your own, so much that you kind of repel people coming into your circle? I feel like that might have hit a nerve with someone. Because the way that I felt after I said that, it was like, stop calling me out. It's not that I think that you guys are necessarily pushing people away on purpose. I think that sometimes you're just so much of no, I can handle this on my own. No, I can do this on my own. That people are just like, well, okay, I tried. You know, if you don't want my help, then you don't want my help. You know what I mean? And it's not about... It's not about... Okay, let me rephrase this before I get myself in trouble. It's about accepting the help from the right people. Because I think part of that is that you just don't want to get hurt again. You don't want to leave yourself vulnerable and open to getting hurt again. And that's why a tribe is so incredibly necessary. Some of you are really having to get very what's the word I want to say? You're getting very unforgiving when it comes to business matters. You aren't allowing people to take advantage of you anymore. You're like, you know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You're not letting people fool you twice anymore. But by doing that with this, I mean, like, I feel like this Mars and Aries business that's going to be happening for the rest of the year is really, really, really going to show you how you relate to people, you know, at home. How you are no longer standing for certain types of energies, no longer, you're trying to create a safe space and atmosphere for yourself. And by doing that, you really are bringing that cutthroat energy from June into July as well, and maybe even amplifying it a little bit with the Emperor here on the Queen of Swords. Some of you really have to take a chance with a relationship. And I think the more you allow yourself, or a connection that you have with a particular person, I think that you really want to work towards finding the right person. But at the same time, in such a weird energy and a weird space, it's not about... Ooh, okay, there you are at the bottom of the deck. Thanks for showing up to your reading. It's not about... Again, I just want to go back to where this 10 of Wands and the 6 of Cups, it's not about what we think we want. The relationship aspect, the relationship side of things shouldn't have to be so hard, don't you think? If you feel like you're constantly struggling to find the right person, or you're constantly struggling within the relationship that you're in, it's not about lowering your standards. It's about raising them. And the more you raise your vibration, and the more you raise your standards, and the more you say, I don't, and maybe that's the risk that you have to take. You have to say, this is what I need from a relationship. This is what I myself feel I need within the relationship, and then taking that risk to be open about it. But you have to really accept the fact that maybe what it is that you think that you want isn't actually the best road for you to take. Because with the Fool energy and the Two of Cups, creating a space where you can be vulnerable enough to take a risk with another person isn't just about how hard you're working towards it. It's about how hard both of you are working towards it. And you're creating your own safe space within right now. And I think that that is probably the biggest. Man, the Ten of Swords on the Moon. That shadow place, that shadowy place, those shadow aspects that you are you're being forced to look at your shadowy aspects, the deepest, darkest places, right? And it's not going to feel good. It's not going to be the easiest road to take. But on the other side of it, oh man, this is what you're not seeing, because you're still in that place where you sort of you're not really seeing the peace on the other side of it, because that Two of Swords is sort of blocking that. But guys, healing yourself, oh man, healing yourself from the things that really broke you, right? Three of Swords in the Tower. Healing yourself from the things that really broke you, and allowing yourself to stand firm in the new foundation that the universe is supporting you with. The universe is supporting you and guiding you into this new stable foundation with the Ace of Pentacles. And there's that Queen of Pentacles right there. So a lot of times the easiest way to build our foundation in a safer place with the Four of Wands here, the easiest way to do it is by allowing the things that were built on unstable. This is evolution at its finest, right? Really, really having to look deep into the shadow aspects of who you are, accepting that we all have darkness. And that darkness is being transmuted into the light. And what is the light? The light is love. And allowing yourself to access that energy and create relationships and take risks and be vulnerable enough to do that. Oof, that's a big task that you guys are being given in July. And again, no one else would be able to do it. Nobody else would be strong enough to create from that space. So, and know that you do have, you can always come to me. You can find me all over social media. You can even become a part of the memberships, where we have energy updates all the time, and we have wonderful conversations constantly going on Discord. So we would love it if you could join us there. But if you do feel like you need a little extra support right now, find somebody that truly, truly loves you, and allow them in your space so that you can feel the universal love that's being guided through it, okay? Also, if you would like to have a little bit of extra protection wrapped around you all the time, the restorative crystal necklace jewelry. There are necklaces, there are earrings, there's even shorter necklaces that are like this length. On my roommate hand makes these, and then they will be charged with Reiki by me. You can find that in the description box, the link to go get those. I love you guys. It is no secret that you are one of my favorites. So I hope that you're really taking care of yourself. And it's tough right now, but the energy is guiding us into something much better, much more beautiful. And we get to the light by going through the darkness. So thank you for leading us, being the leaders for us. I love you all so much.